Hello and welcome to the football world. You're watching the Football Current, powered by pure football energy.
Size has always been football's easiest shortcut for judgment. Before the first touch is taken, before the first duel is contested, before a single pass is played, we measure, we compare, and we decide who belongs. So when a 5'9" Argentine center back walked into the most scrutinized club in England, wearing the weight of history on his shoulders and a price tag that invited ridicule, the verdict was delivered almost instantly. Too small, too weak, too risky, not built for this league, not built for this badge. The Premier League, after all, has always loved its giants. Towering center halves, aerial dominance, physical intimidation, and this man did not fit the template. But football has never truly belonged to templates. It belongs to belief, to courage, to those willing to fight when the odds are stacked against them. And Lisandro Martinez did not come to England to fit in. He came to prove something, because long before Old Trafford, before Amsterdam, before European nights and global debates, he learned very early in life that survival in football does not come from size. It comes from fire. In Argentina, football is not a pastime. It is not something you grow out of. It is identity. It is escape. It is the only language that makes sense when nothing else does. For Lisandro Martinez, the ball was never optional. It was destiny. Growing up, he did what millions of Argentine kids do. Every single day he chased a dream with no safety net beneath him. Streets, pitches, dust, pressure. And when the opportunity came to join Newell's Old Boys, the club that raised Lionel Messi, it felt like the dream had found its direction. On paper, it was perfect. In reality, it was brutal. Bought opportunities were scarce. Trust was thin. Doubt lingered. He trained. He waited. He fought for minutes that never came. One senior appearance. One fleeting chance near the end of the 2016 to 2017 season. That was all. And then came the verdict that so many talented players here before their story even begins. Not convincing enough. Not physically imposing. Too small to build around. Newell's moved on. For many, that would have been the end. For Lisandro Martinez, it became the spark. A lone move to Defensa. Why Justicia changed everything. Smaller club, less noise, fewer expectations, but also fewer excuses. Here, minutes were earned, not promised. And when Martinez finally stepped onto the pitch regularly in Argentina's top division, the player everyone had underestimated revealed himself. He played like a man with nothing to lose. He tackled without hesitation. He challenged players bigger than him without fear. Every duel felt personal. Every clearance mattered. But what truly separated him was not aggression alone. It was intelligence. He read the game earlier than others. He stepped into passing lanes before they opened. He positioned himself to avoid physical mismatches rather than chase them. And when the ball arrived at his feet, he did not panic. He built attacks. He broke pressure. He demanded responsibility. Defensay. Justicia saw the value immediately. The move became permanent, for a modest fee that barely hinted at what was coming. Despite his height, Martinez dominated with timing and bravery. He attacked aerial duels as if size were irrelevant. He understood angles, momentum, and anticipation. This was not a defender surviving football. This was a defender thinking football. Then came the moment that quietly altered the trajectory of his career. Representing Argentina, under-20s Martinez caught the attention of scouts who were not obsessed with centimeters. Scouts who valued composure, passing range, mentality, leadership. Scouts from Ajax. For a teenager recently rejected by his boyhood club, European interest was validation. But Ajax was more than just interest. It was the perfect ecosystem. A club that demanded bravery and possession. A club that valued defenders as playmakers. A club where intelligence mattered as much as physique. From the moment he arrived in Amsterdam, Lisandro Martinez looked at home. He did not need time to adjust. One moment, he was spraying diagonal passes across the pitch. The next, he was flying into tackles with ferocity. When space opened, he stepped confidently into midfield, carrying the ball like it belonged there. Ajax supporters embraced him quickly, and they gave him a name that captured his essence perfectly. Butcher of Amsterdam. It was not a nickname given lightly. Martinez was relentless, ruthless in duels, completely fearless. Bigger forwards did not intimidate him. A reputation meant nothing. He played with a controlled aggression that walked the line between intensity and intelligence. Titles followed. Success became routine. And by the 2021 to 2022 season, he was widely recognized as the best defender in the Eredivisie. He was voted Ajax Player of the Season, not because he fit a mold, but because he shattered one.
Fucking grow up.
I didn't think it was that harsh.
You need Tom Maguire back for that.
Pick Martinez up and run with him. It'd be like, you know, see a dad after school.
He'd score, then throw him in the net.
Running down the road like with a little that's what it's like.
Paul Scholes and Nicky Butt spoke about Lisandro Martinez. It was never just casual pundit talk. It was a clash between old-school Premier League ideology and modern football reality. For years, English football lived by one unbreakable rule. Centre-backs must be tall, dominant, and physically overwhelming. So when Martinez arrived at Manchester United, standing at just 5'E", skepticism was inevitable. Scholes questioned how a defender of his size could survive aerial battles week after week. While Butt echoed the traditional belief that physical mismatches would eventually expose him. But football has a way of humbling even its sharpest minds, as Martinez began throwing himself into tackles, winning duels against bigger forwards, and playing out from the back with composure United had lacked for years. The narrative started to crack. What Scholes and Butt initially saw as a weakness slowly revealed itself as a misconception. Martinez wasn't trying to outmuscle opponents, he was outthinking them. His timing, aggression, anticipation, and mentality flipped the argument entirely. Each dominant performance forced former legends to reassess what elite defending actually looks like in the modern game. This wasn't just Martinez proving pundits wrong. It was football evolving in real time. The debate shifted from, he's too small to, how did we misjudge him so badly? And that's what makes this story so compelling. A reminder that reputation, tradition, and past experiences can cloud even the greatest football brains. Lisandro Martinez didn't just answer Paul Scholes and Nicky, but he forced an entire football culture to update its beliefs.
I've spoken to Martinez a few times, face-to-face and online. He's someone who just wants to do well. He's someone who just wants to win. He's someone who just wants to get back to the standards that Manchester United were at.
Then came the night that Trulin announced him to Europe. Champions League, Ajax versus Borussia. Dortmund. Leading the line for Dortmund was Erling Haaland, a striker built like a force of nature. Strong, fast, ruthless, the kind of forward Premier League skeptics said would expose Martinez. Instead, Martinez delivered a match. He read every movement. He disrupted every run. He won duels that physics said he should lose. Ajax won 4-2-0. Haaland barely had a moment. It was a message sent quietly, but clearly. Height was not his weakness. Fear was not in his vocabulary. What? All of this closely was one man who needed no convincing. Erik ten Hag. For 3 seasons at Ajax, Ten Hag saw Martinez every day. He saw the mentality, the obsession with detail, the refusal to back down. He saw a warrior who could also pass, think, and lead. So, when Ten Hag arrived at Manchester United in 2022, his target was clear. United moved quickly, outbidding rivals and paying around £55 million to bring Lisandro Martinez to Old Trafford. And instantly, the noise began. Too expensive, too small, too risky for England. The Premier League welcomed him brutally. A loss to Brighton, then a humiliating defeat at Brentford. Long balls targeted him relentlessly. Physical mismatches exploited. Martinez struggled, like everyone else in that collapsing system. At halftime of the Brentford match, United were 4 goals down. Martinez was substituted. The narrative was complete. Pundits declared victory. Social media feasted. Memes flooded. Timelines every lost header replayed endlessly. Jamie Carragher was unequivocal. This cannot work. Not in a back four. Not in this league. For many players, that kind of scrutiny would break confidence. For Lisandro Martinez, it hardened resolve. He did not respond with interviews. He did not defend himself online. He trained. He focused. He waited. And then came the night. That changed everything. Manchester United versus Liverpool. At Old Trafford. Against all external pressure, Erik ten Hag trusted him. And Martinez repaid that trust from the first minute. An early, uncompromising challenge on Mohamed Salah sent a message to the stadium. The crowd roared. This was not fear. This was defiance. United won 2-1. Martinez was immense. Blocks, tackles, calm distribution, relentless intensity. By full time, Old Trafford had chosen its side. The same fans who doubted him were chanting his name. In weeks, the narrative flipped completely. He was voted Manchester United Player of the Month for August 2022. Not because he was perfect, but because he cared, because he fought, because he represented something supporters had been craving. As the season unfolded, his partnership with Raphael Varane became the foundation of United's resurgence. Varane brought experience and composure. Martinez brought aggression and leadership. Together, they restored defensive stability. Clean sheets followed. Confidence grew. By February, United had already surpassed the previous season's defensive record. Martinez was no longer questioned. He was indispensable. His effectiveness came from intelligence. His reading of the game was elite. Anticipation, timing, positional awareness, shaped by years of playing midfield as a youth. He studied players like Joshua Kimmich, learning movement, angles, and spatial control in the air. He attacked duels with conviction. He did not wait. He leaped early. He disrupted balance. Statistics revealed the truth that eyes already knew. Despite his height, he won aerial duels at a higher rate than several taller defenders. Even Jamie Carragher later admitted he was wrong. On the ball, Martinez embodied what modern elite defenders must be. Short passing under pressure. Long diagonals that bypassed pressing traps. Carries through midfield that broke defensive lines. Beyond tactics, it was leadership that elevated him. He shouted. He demanded. He celebrated blocks like goals. This was a defender who loved defending. Team success followed personal redemption. The Carabao Cup arrived United's first trophy in 6 years. A clean sheet at Wembley. Martinez, rock solid. Earlier that season, he returned from Qatar as a World Cup winner with Argentina. A player once deemed too small was now a champion of the world. Seasons passed. Chaos surrounded United. Martinez remained constant. He played in FA Cup triumphs. He scored at ending years of frustration. Former players praised him. Fans adored him. And then came the Manchester derbies. Against Erling Haaland again. Against City's relentless attack. Once more, Martinez stood tall. He organized, he battled. He dominated moments that mattered. Afterward, when reminded of earlier criticism, his response was simple. Let them talk. Because Lisandro Martinez no longer needs validation. Despite standing at 5'9", he plays like a giant. Not because of strength alone, but because of belief. Because of mentality. Because he refuses to accept limitations imposed by others. From rejection in Rosario, to dominance in Amsterdam, to redemption at Old Trafford. His story is not about proving people wrong. It is about proving himself right. And as football continues to debate size, systems, and stereotypes, Lisandro Martinez stands as living proof that the game still belongs to those brave enough to fight for it. So here is the question: in an era obsessed with physical profiles, will football finally learn to value heart as much as height?